So today we are going to be working on something like this. We are going to be creating a coffee cup, a very simple shape of a coffee cup in Blender. And this is just one example. Of course, your cup may just differ in shape and size and the logo that you want, colors and everything that you can choose on your own. But I'm just going to create this kind of a shape, and I'm on the new file in Blender. You can just go to file, new, and choose a general file. So when you do that, this is the default shape that you start with. And for creating a coffee cup, I don't really need a cube. So I'm going to just press delete from my keyboard to get rid of this shape. And instead of a cube, I actually want to start with a cylinder. So I just went on to add, and then from the first option called mesh, I just choose a cylinder. Okay. If this size is fine with you, you can just work with this. I'm just going to press S to scale it a little bit and to make it bigger. Okay. Yeah. And then if you see this coffee cup, I'm actually going to begin with this lid part of it, with this middle part of it, which is the lid. So what I'm going to do in my Blender, while this is being selected, I'm going to press S and then Z. You don't have to hold down these keys. You can just press them once and release them, and then make this part thinner. Okay, because this is going to act like a lid, like that. So once you're satisfied, just click and that will be the final shape. Okay, now I want to tweak the shape and make it into a coffee cup. So all of that editing has to be done in the edit mode. So I'm going to go to the edit mode out here. Right now, here if you see, the entire cylindrical shape is selected with all the vertices and edges being visible, but for what I want to do is going to make more sense if I use the face select mode, because I want to work on the individual faces of the cylinder to change the shape. So I'm going to select this mode, face select mode. Okay, and then I'm going to select the bottom face of my cylinder, right? And then S. So two keys, one after the other, but don't keep holding them. Just press them once and release it. So I'm going to just make it into this kind of a shape. Okay, just give some width to my cup, right? Once this is done, then I'm only going to press E for extend so that I can actually work on the height of my cup. So depending upon what you want, you can choose height, right? Now this definitely is not the shape that I'm looking for. So while this face is selected, I'm going to press S. S is for scaling, and I'm going to scale this face down a little bit, so to make it into an inverted kind of a shape of a coffee cup, right? So this is what I wanted to do from the bottom part of it. And now for the top part of this, I'm going to select this, right? And again, E and then S. E is for extend, S is for scaling, and just to give it a little width out here, this is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to press E to extend it a little bit up, like that. Okay, and then E and then S once again to give it a little width, like that. Okay, and now with this face being selected, I'm going to press E, but this time I'm not going to extend it up. I'm going to push it down so that I get a little depth for my lid, something like that. Okay, so by pressing combinations of E and S, you can actually achieve this kind of a coffee cup with a lid. Okay, now we want to work on the logo part of it, like a Cafe Coffee Day or Starbucks or whichever coffee brand logo you can choose, and I want to put it on the front face of my cup. But first, what I want to do here is I want to give some color to my coffee cup. So all the colors are actually given from this menu here. And the last one over here is called the material properties. So you can add new materials and you can keep assigning it to your model or whatever shape you're creating. So I'm going to press material properties, and I'm going to click on new material. It takes a little while, but the menu will appear. Okay, so here this is called material 001, but I'm actually going to rename it and I'm going to call it the cup, because just to say that the cup is going to have a color. So here the default color is white, as you can see, and I will keep it just white. I don't want to change the color. If you wish to change the colors, you can actually just click on this and change the color that you want, but I'm going to keep it white. So after doing that, I'm going to assign this. Okay, assign this to the cup here. right? And if you want to see the changes out here, you can actually see the material preview from the top right. This is called the viewport shading. So once you click on this second last circle, you will be able to see that we have assigned the white color to the cup here. Okay, now another thing that I'm going to go here and create a new material because I need a new material for my logo. So here, clicking on the plus sign, I am going to click on new again. Okay, and this material, which is a newly added material, I'm going to call it the logo. Okay, but here I will not really choose any color because I don't want color here. I want an image in a logo. Okay, but that I'm going to work on it now. Okay, so I've got a cup material, logo material, and now I'm going to work on assigning a picture or mapping a texture out here. So for that, I need to create some space on my cup for the picture. So I'm going to use this tool here, which is called the loop cut tool. Okay, it creates cuts or sort of, creates mesh cuts into your shapes horizontally as well as vertically. So I'm going to use loop cut. And if you see, this is how, wherever you keep your mouse, it's going to create those cuts. Okay, but it will create once you click on it. So if this is fine, horizontal cut, I'm going to click once. Okay, and then I'm going to move my mouse to create another cut. So two cuts here, but I can actually increase the distance between these two cuts using this menu. Okay, so right now the factor of the distance is 0.0. I can actually change it, and when I worked on it, I think 0.5 well suited my needs, so it could be 0.4. So when you increase that factor, you are going to see the distance over here. Okay, I am satisfied with the distance between these two cuts, so I'm just going to press on select on top now that my work is finished. Okay, and now again using this menu, which is the face select, I'm going to select these individual faces between the cuts that I made. So this is one, and then holding down the shift key, I am going to select maybe 4 or 5 more faces, just so that I can attach a picture out here. Okay, so this being done, now I want to assign a picture, and that is done in the UV editing mode. If you remember the mobile phone activity that we did, it's just extreme, it's just in just 100% similar to what we are trying to do now. Okay, so going to the UV editing here. Okay, I think I'll have to just go back once again and select those faces because I think they got deselected, or oh, they are here. So I'm going to go to the UV editing now. Okay, and just gonna see, yeah, here are these faces which are selected. So while my mouse is here on the right screen, I'm going to press U. U is for unwrap. Okay, so when you press U, just select unwrap here, and what you will see is all these 5 faces from here are going to get unwrapped and appear here. Okay, but this is not the right way. I will show you how to edit this. But first, let me go to the image and open the image that I want as a logo. So I'm going to open, and I think I had downloaded one image which was cafe coffee day.jpg, and I'm going to open it. Right, so now it's too big, and if you see, all these 5 faces right now are only covering this little red portion out here, but I want these 5 faces to cover the entire logo. So while my mouse is here on my left screen, I'm going to press A. Okay, A is for selecting all of these faces, and then I'm going to press S and then Y so that I can scale it. Okay, I want to scale it and cover the entire logo. Okay, now here, while my mouse is here, I'm also going to press G for grabbing it and trying to cover the entire logo with these 5 faces. Okay, now still, I mean, there is some more editing that needs to be done because this is not covering and this is like going beyond the image. So what you can do, you can actually use this edge select mode from top left. Okay, and instead of selecting all the faces, just select this one edge and then say S for scaling it down, and bring your mouse carefully like that. You can either scale it or you can press G and just like grab it and bring it down. Okay, and then here also on this end, just select it, press G and try and make the shape here better. Okay, and here I'm going to select G and just bring it down so that I'm able to cover the entire shape carefully, right? and even from here it's just going beyond the image. So select this, press G, and try and cover the entire rectangle. Even if it's not 100% correct, it's still okay. It should just cover the entire image and that's it. Okay, so here you can even use S. So if I use S here, I think that should be a little better instead of using G. Not really. Okay. I think I should work with vertex mode. Yeah, and then grab it, and yeah, this is how I want it. Okay, even if it is not covering the entire thing, but it covers mostly entire logo, so this is fine. Okay, so once you've done this, then what you can do, you can go to the material properties out here, click on logo, the material that you created, and instead of having this white color here, I'm going to press on this little yellow circle. Okay, and when I click on this yellow circle, I'm going to choose the image texture, right? And once you select the image texture, from the drop down here, this little drop down here, okay, my blender is getting a little stuck right now. It's a bit laggy because the recording is going on, so okay, yes. So from the drop down, you just choose this image, okay, and then click on assign. Okay, so what I did, I just went on logo and chose the image from the drop down and I assigned it. Okay, yeah, it's just getting a bit stuck, but what you will see next is the logo, which is going to appear on these 5 faces that you've selected. Okay, even the color has changed here if you see. Okay, now when I go back to my modeling here, and I click on this little circle, which is the material preview, what I should be able to see is a white cup with a logo. Okay, now it looks fine, but of course the image is inverted and I need to rotate it 90 degrees. So I can't do it from here. I will have to go back to my UV editing. Okay, and what I'm gonna do here, okay, let me go back to my modeling, and I'll have to select these 5 faces because otherwise they will not really appear. So 5 faces selected, and then going back to my UV editing. Okay, here, so this is the menu. While my mouse is here, I'm going to press A to select all the faces, and then I'm going to say R for rotate, and I can even use this like just do it manually, or when you press R and 90, it's going to invert the image, or it's going to rotate the image 90 degrees. So you can go to modeling and check if this command has worked, but oh, it's worked the other way around. I should have pressed -90, I think. So I'll just Control Z, go to UV editing and try and press R and then -90, and let's see if this works. Yeah, so -90, the other the other way around. Okay, so this is a coffee cup with a little logo. I think it would look better if the image was transparent. I think I didn't download a transparent image, but when you do it, download a